Hello gamers, welcome to In the Basement with Alec Rath. I'm Alec Rath, in the basement. I am in the basement, you're probably in your basement, and here we are in the basement together. I'm glad you could join me. Tonight we have a special guest, Zora Neale Hurston. Come on in, Zora. How you doing tonight, Zora?
I'm doing good, Alec. How are you?
So, you're the author of one of the top 100 novels listed by Time in 2005, Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Thank you, Alec. I'm so happy to be here.
So, Zora, tell us, what inspired you to name this novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God?
I guess the idea came to me whenever I was writing the beginning of the book. And she's walking down the road, returning to her hometown. And there's that group of ladies sitting on the porch talking about her. And she stops and thinks about talking to them for a minute, but then she just keeps going on her way. And they're all kind of judging her and talking behind her back about where she's been, the people she's been with, and the choices she's been making. And it's more like Janie's kind of like our God character, not in the sense that she's like all powerful. She's more like admired for having power within herself. These women over here are talking about how Janie has become this person that nobody really likes in this sense, but they all admire. As Janie continues to show her determination and holding herself high to her own standards before anyone else's. So while their eyes, which are the people gathered around on the porch that are watching her and like kind of judging her for the choices she's made and where she's been and the people she's been with. And Janie kind of represents the God character just because they have this hidden jealousy about Janie for her personal success that they don't carry within themselves.
So, which character specifically influenced Janie to become such a strong female character profile?
I wrote Janie in a way that she was growing and changing for no one but herself, but before she could allow herself to do that, she had to experience characters like her nanny and Logan. And Nanny was written in a way that she was very loving, but she also represented somebody that thought security was way more important than happiness, which, if we look at Janie later on, turns out to not be true in her case. As a young child, Janie looked up to Nanny because she was really her only sense of security because she didn't have a mom or a dad. And when she married Logan, this is when she finally realized that she had to live for herself before she stood for anyone else. Nanny and Logan were the most important supporting characters to contribute to Janie's personality, only because it is so much easier for people to realize the life they don't want when they live it. Logan and Nanny were two of the most important supporting characters for the development of Janie's character because it was so much easier for her to figure out what she didn't want rather than find what she did want because there was so much holding her back from finding that.
Okay, so tell me, what's with the apple tree?
Oh, you mean the Pear Tree?
Zora. I read the book. I think I know what I'm talking about.
Alright. Well, the Pear Tree...
Apple tree!
Right, okay. Well, anyway, it's really just a physical timestamp of Janie's growth. In her adolescence, she finds security under the blossoming tree because at this point in the novel, this is really her only place that she can go where she feels completely one with herself. The blossoms on the tree represent her physical growth as she transitions into this young woman, and she is constantly envying the tree because it is living with the sole intent to grow, and that is all. It's growing, and it's blossoming, and it changes with every season, and it owes nothing to no one. So throughout the entire novel, I have her thinking back to the tree as an inspiration to find freedom within her own womanhood.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Puppet Time. What's that mean? Whoa, what happened? Why's my voice like this? I sound like you. Joe's character. Correct me if I'm wrong here. While he's incredibly charismatic, he is also very obnoxious and conducts himself in an ungodly amount of self-esteem. And he is unaware of his superiority complex. He reeks of misogynism, but Joe is the first character that has brought a sense of excitement into Janie's life. So she convinces herself that this is what she wanted, and it made her happy at one point. I feel you wrote Joe as somewhat of a quicksand character, because Janie herself gets caught up in Joe's life, and the more she tries to express her own personality, the further she is sucked in due to Joe's possessiveness. He enjoys her solely for the idea that she's a prize to be had, but views her as his property.
Yeah, exactly.
And the only reason that Janie feels remorse... The only reason Janie suffers grief after Joe dies is because, again, she feels that she failed her grandmother. She was hoping that she could get that happy medium after she learned that she could not learn to love as her grandmother suggested with Logan. When it comes to romance, love is a feeling of home, and so Janie had to escape from somewhere she did not feel home in order to find love. That's something she learned with Logan. With Joe, she learned that new beginnings come from the end of old beginnings, right? And so when she's provided with the chance to pull herself from depression and restart, the healthiest thing a person can do for themselves is take that opportunity. Is that what you meant?
Well, yes. That was a very well organized interpretation of Joe's character.
Yes. Yes, it was. Why did you choose to alternate the different types of English between the narrative and the dialogue?
The alternating between the use of English between the narrative and the dialogue was solely to represent the time period in which the story is taking place and to make it feel more real. Because if I had all of them speaking with this proper English and present slang, then it wouldn't feel real at all and the story would just fall flat.
What did the dog that ultimately killed Tea Cakes represent in Janie's life?
The rabid dog that killed Tea Cakes inevitably represented everything that was wrong with Janie's choices and life that she was living up until the point that she realized that she had to live for herself. Basically, it was killing off all sense of regret and misjudgment that she had made on the people in her past. Because at that point, when Tea Cakes became rabid from that dog, it was no longer Tea Cakes. He had already died, and she was working on grieving. And whenever she finally got the courage to kill the rabid Tea Cakes, it probably sent a sense of relief through her because she had finally cleared herself of all the pain of making all those choices in her life that was holding her back from growing as a person.
Why was Phoebe written as a listener from an outside perspective, such as a reader?
I wrote Phoebe in a sense that she was looking in on the story from the outside because I wanted her to be like the connecting character between this fictional but very realistic feeling world and the reader. Like, Phoebe is the person that she hears all this gossip, but she still goes to Janie and gets the inside to the story because she wants to understand the inner workings of these details.
This is a prank, guys. I'm Matthew Murdoch, aka Daredevil, and I've come... Alec had to go to the bathroom, so I came in between shots to finish the episode. Oh wait, he's back. What's up, guys? It's me, Alec. I'm back. I went to the bathroom. Daredevil's in my spot. I'm back now. Don't worry. All right.
Back in the basement.
All right, guys. That's all for the show. Thank you for tuning in to In the Basement with Alec Rath. We've been in the basement. Just us. No guests today. Thank you. You just broke the set! Okay, well, as you can see, there's a small fire starting in the back. We're gonna get on that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see all you dudes in the next video. Whoosh. That's Jacksepticeye. Hello, boot. This is not a boot, this is a mouse. Imagine being an orphan and having a mouse get picked before you.
Was that Stuart Little?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Aww.
What? Ah, mouse poop! The mouse pooped! I said it! Haley, please confirm the mouse did poop.
The mouse did poop.
I think
Scene.
you're too tall for this.
I'm too tall?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the idea...
How's your day going, Bailey? There's a mouse on my head! There's a mouse on my head!
We eating beans tonight.
Bailey, take your mouse.
Come here, Boot.
Boot? That is a mouse, not a boot! Please, Bailey. Guys, look how big this mouse is. Look at how big this mouse is, guys. There's a mouse on my head. don't know what to do. What are you doing? So, you were the author of one of the top 100 novels. Yeah, because if I squint my eyes real good, they can't tell that I'm looking down. Old beginnings. And that this is not...